Assalamu alaikum, good morning. I am Mrs. Afshin Imran again here for taking your English language class. You all are here. Welcome again. Are you hearing me? Please reply. Okay, good morning. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, yes. Please check your connection. Are you hearing me? Write your name and write yes or no. Okay, so that I can understand. Very good of you. You all are here. Now remember, you should be there before the time, at least 10 to 15 minutes, so that you cannot miss any part of the lecture. Okay? Now you are all welcome. Now, I hope you have understood first and second lecture. Now we come to lecture number 3. The topic is kinds of pronoun. We have all done in the previous lecture with the parts of speech that pronoun is a word which is used in place of a noun. And you should keep in mind that noun is the name of person, place, animal, or thing. So we can use the pronoun for all of them. For person, place, animal, or thing. So please remember all these things in the mind. We are doing kinds of pronoun today. There are 4 kinds of pronoun. The first one is personal pronoun. Next is relative pronoun. Third is reflexive pronoun. And fourth is interrogative pronoun. But here you can see that I have written some of the kinds of pronoun here, like subjective pronoun, objective pronoun, and possessive pronoun. These are related to personal pronouns actually. These are not any other kind, but these are forms of personal pronouns. Okay? Yeah, write your name in the chat box, please, and come with your real names, please. Remember this thing, otherwise I will not mark your attendance. And if you are late, I will not mark your attendance. So please be there on time. Write your name and your roll number. Now we do these kinds, their definitions and examples one by one. The first one, kindly turn off your videos. The first one is personal pronoun. A personal pronoun is a word that refers to one of the 3 kinds of persons. Okay, there are actually 3 kinds of persons. And when we talk about the personal pronoun, it means we are actually relating to these 3 persons. Okay, the first person who is actually the speaker, or you can say that the speakers, because it may be possible that in some cases there are more than one speaker. Okay, like you can understand that here I am speaking to you, so I am the first person, or you can simply say that I am the speaker. So we are discussing about second person now. Second person means the person or the persons spoken to. That means the listeners. In this case, I am talking to you. So like I am the speaker, so you all are the listeners. Okay? Are you understanding? And you all are the second persons here. Now we come to third person. Third person means the person or the persons who are being spoken about. It means if me and you, that means the speaker and the listener are speaking about some other person, then he or she is called the third person, or there may be more than one person, so these all are third persons. Now we come to the forms of personal pronouns. I have told you that there are three forms: subjective pronoun, objective pronoun, and possessive pronoun. Okay, these are the three forms. These are not the kinds, remember, there are four kinds, and these are only the forms. Okay, so please remember all these things in your mind. Now we come to subjective pronoun. Subjective pronoun, when the speaker is the doer of the action. It means the speaker, or you can say the first person, second person, first person, or in many cases second person or third person. When the speaker is the doer of the action, we call this subjective pronoun. Okay. There are examples for singular persons and for plural persons. First person. If first person means when we are talking about the speaker, like me here. I saw the teacher. You can see that I have underlined all the pronouns here. I saw the teacher. It is for singular speaker or singular person. For plural, we saw the teacher. If the speakers or the first persons are more than one. Okay? Arisha, Aisha, turn off your videos, please. For second person, if you are talking, you or you are the doer of action, we call it or we write it in the way you saw the teacher. For singular person, it means if I'm talking about only one of you, or if I am talking about more than one person, for you all, I am also writing the same plural or same pronoun, you saw the teacher. Okay, because you is a pronoun, or you can say a subjective pronoun. It is used for the singular persons as well as for the plural persons. Now we come to the third person. Third person may be a single male person, a single female person, or more than one person. So if there is a male person, we write he saw the teacher, or if there is a female person, we write she saw the teacher. It means it is optional. Slash, the sign shows that it is optional. We can use any one of them at one time. For more than one person, we write the word they saw the teacher. They is used for many persons. Okay. Please don't discuss anything. Be attentive for your class. Listen to me very carefully, please. Don't disturb the class. Okay. Now we come to the next form of personal pronoun, that is objective pronoun. When the speaker has the action done to him, we call it objective pronoun. Like you can say that when the speaker is not performing any action, but the action is done to him. Okay. It is again for one person, that is singular, and plural for more than one person. I have given many examples and all the pronouns have been underlined here so that you can understand more. Okay. Students, kindly turn off your videos. For first person, the teacher saw me. Me here, it means the speaker is not doing the action, but he is receiving the action. Like me, I am receiving the action that the teacher is seeing me. And I am the singular person here, so I have written me for only single person. But for the plural person, many of the people are here. We can write the teacher saw us. Okay, for more than one person. It is for first person. Now for second person, we are using only a pronoun you, as I have already told you. So for the singular person and for the plural, in both the cases we use you. The teacher saw you. The teacher saw you for the plural person as well. It means if I'm talking about only one of you, or if I'm talking about all of you, I am writing or talking like calling you only with only the word you. Okay. Now for third person, the teacher saw him or her. It means if there is a singular male person, we use him. And if there is a singular female person, we use her. It is optional. Again, remember, don't write both of them at the same time. Next is for the plural person, the teacher saw them. Here, it is the objective pronoun. It means the action has been done to the persons. They are not performing any action. In the subjective pronoun, the speaker is performing the action, or you can say that he is the doer of the action. But in the objective pronoun, the speaker is not doing anything, but he is receiving the action, or you can say that action has been done to him. Okay, now we are coming to the third form of personal pronoun. It is called possessive pronoun. Possessive pronoun, the word possessive comes from possession. Possession means the belongings. Okay, that means the things belong to you or me. Please, students, don't discuss anything with each other. Hasan Habib, what are you writing here? Please, don't disturb the class. Hasan Habib, please, don't disturb. Be attentive and do concentration on your lecture only. Please. Now the possessive pronoun is the pronoun in which when the speaker is the owner of a thing, it means something belongs to him. Something belongs to the speaker. We call it a possessive pronoun. For singular person, we use different pronouns, and for plural persons, we use different pronouns here. All the pronouns are underlined here. Now for first person, for example, if there is a book placed here on the table and it belongs to me, then I will write the book is mine. Okay, because I am here the first person, you all know that, because I am speaking everything. Now if the speakers are more than one, we can write the book is ours. Okay, it means there are many owners of that book. For second person, I have already told you there is only one pronoun, yours, which is used for the singular person as well as for the plural person. It means the book belongs to you, only any one of you, or the book belongs to all of you. The book is yours. The book is yours for the plural as well. For third persons may be the male person or the female person singular. So we use the book is his for male person and the book is hers for a female person. Okay, again this is optional. We can write any one of them at one time. For plural person, the book is theirs. It means many people are the owner of that book. Okay, remember possessive pronouns shows the belongings. Now we come to the next kind of pronoun, that is relative pronoun. Relative pronoun, it means that the word relative comes from the word relation. It means it is showing the relation. Okay? A relative pronoun refers to persons or things already named and are used to introduce clauses. It means relative pronoun is actually used for persons or things, and their particular names have been given, not in the form of proper nouns, but they can be identified easily, and they are used to introduce clauses. Clauses means the sentence having a verb. Okay, a verb. Now there are some examples of relative pronouns. Relative pronouns are showing the relations. It means there is a joining of subject with some sentence or some clause. Now some examples: who, whom, whose, which, and that. Okay, these are some of the relative pronouns which are used to show the relations. Okay. Now, the first one is who. Who is actually a relative pronoun. I have written the examples of all of them one by one here, an example, so that you will easily understand. Who is used for persons when the word is the subject of its clause. It means who is the relative pronoun which is used only for the persons. Okay, it is not used for animals or things. Remember this thing in the mind. When the word is the subject of its clause, it means the person is actually the subject and it is attached with a clause. Okay, it is showing the relation. The word who, the relative pronoun, is showing the relation between the subject, that is the person, and the clause. I saw the man who was standing alone. It means you can see that the subject is the man and the who is related to that person, and he was standing alone. That is the clause, and it, because it is having a verb here, standing. Next example is we met the lady who was in the car. Now, who is the relative pronoun which is describing the relation of the lady, and it is showing the relation with the clause that she was in the car. Here the verb is was. You were interested in the person who applied for the job. Again, you can see that who is the relative pronoun which is showing the relation with the person and he who had applied for the job. Here is the clause which is having a verb applied. Okay. Kindly turn off your videos, please. Now next relative pronoun is whom. Whom is used for the persons when the word is the object of its clause. Again, remember, keep in mind that whom is also used for only the persons, not the animals and not the things. And when the word is the object of its clause, it means it is used for the persons which is actually the object of the first part of the sentence. And when we use the whom to show the relation, we give a reason or another sentence is attached here. Like you can see that this is my father. This is the first sentence and father is the object here. And we are talking about the father and we are using the pronoun for father, whom. And we are giving the reason here you have not seen before. Next example is here is your teacher whom I have not met yet. That whom is used for the teacher and the teacher is the subject of the first object of the first sentence, and I am writing a reason about her that I have not met yet. Next example is this is my uncle whom they had met yesterday. Again, here you can see that uncle is the object of the first sentence and whom is used for the uncle because he's a person, and I have written the other sentence here, you had met yesterday. Okay. Now, students, you are very much late. Please join as soon as possible. You should be there at proper time, at least before 10 minutes. So please be careful next time. Otherwise, I will not mark your attendance. Now we come to the third one, whose, another relative pronoun. Whose is used for the persons normally, but may be used for animals or things. It means whose is a kind of relative pronoun which is used for the mostly for the persons. Okay, but sometimes it may be used for animals or things. It means in some cases it can be used for animals or things. Like some examples are here. We met the man whose car was stolen. Here you can see that whose, the pronoun is used for the man and his car was stolen. In the second case or in the second example, you can see that this is the cat. Cat is an animal. It means whose is used for the animal here, whose kittens were lost. In the next example, you saw the woman whose necklace is here. It means it is again used for the person, whose is used for the women here, whose necklace is here. And you can understand them very easily because I have underlined all the pronouns. Amanur, you are very much late, please. Next is which, a relative pronoun, another relative pronoun. Iman, please turn off your video. Which is used for anything except persons. It means which can be used for animals as well as things, but not for the persons. Okay, remember this thing. Some examples are, I found the book which had the answers. Okay, now which is used as a relative pronoun for the book. Okay, now next example, we read the letter which was in the drawer. It means which is used for the letter which was in the drawer. Manur, if you want to ask anything, write in the chat. You took the color which was on the table. Here you can see that which is a relative pronoun and it is used for the color here. Okay, and color is a thing. Now we come to the next relative pronoun. It is that. That is used sometimes instead of which for anything. Mostly we are using which as a relative pronoun, but in some cases we are using that in place of which. Like you can see that here is the picture that was on the wall. Okay, that is used as a pronoun for showing the relation of picture with the wall. Here you can see that another example, there is a bag that was in the shop. That is a relative pronoun which is showing the relation of the bag with the shop. That bag was in the shop and bag is a noun here and the pronoun that was used to show the bag. Next example is I found the money that was stolen. Now that is used for the money that was stolen and money is a noun here and that was used to show the relation of money which was stolen. Okay, I think you have understood till here very easily. If there will be any problem, then ask me in the chat room. Okay, I am giving you a, no, the color of spelling is not wrong. It is used with this example, this spelling which I have written here. Both the spellings are right because it is a noun. Okay, so please don't get worried. If you have got any problem, that I will give you some time to ask at the end of the lecture. Okay, now I'm giving you a quick review so that if you have missed anything from these slides, then you will get my point again. Okay. There are 4 kinds of pronoun. I have told you personal pronoun, which has 3 forms: subjective, objective, and possessive pronouns. Next is relative pronoun, reflexive pronoun, and interrogative pronoun. We will discuss reflexive and interrogative pronouns in the part 2 of the lecture. Now I am giving you a quick review of personal pronouns. A personal pronoun is a word that refers to 3 kinds of person. First person is the speaker, second person is the listener, or third person is the person for whom the listener and the speaker are talking about. Now we are discussing the forms of subjective pronoun, personal pronouns, that are subjective pronoun, objective pronoun, and possessive pronoun. Subjective pronoun: in subjective pronoun, the speaker is the doer of the action, and I have given you the examples for the singular persons and for the plural person. For first person, I is used for as a singular person. For plural, we is used. For second person, the pronoun you is used for the singular as well as for the plural persons. And for third person, we have many options here: for singular, he and she, and for plural, they. Now we come to the objective pronoun. In objective pronoun, the speaker is not doing any action, but the action has been done to him. And here are many other examples for singular person and the plural persons. For first person, for singular, me is used. For plural persons, us is used. And for second person, again the same pronoun is used, that is you. And for third person, we have other options, like for male persons, we use him, and for female persons, we use her. In the plural form, we use them. Now for possessive pronoun, which is showing the belonging, or in this case, the speaker is the owner of anything. So we use for the first person the word mine for singular person and the word ours for plural person. In the case of second person, we have only one option, that is yours for singular person and yours for the plural person. And for the third person, we have 2 options, his and her. His for the male person and hers for the female persons. And for many persons, we use theirs. Now, another kind of pronoun which we have discussed in this lecture is the relative pronoun. Relative pronoun shows the relation of the pronouns, and it refers to the persons or the things, and it is used to introduce clauses. I have already told you clauses means the sentence having a verb. There are many examples: who, whom, whose, which, and that. These are some of the relative pronouns which we are using to show the relation of the pronouns with the sentence or with some other things. Okay, now I'm repeating it. You can understand it. Listen to me very carefully. There is another relative pronoun, or we are using them one by one again in different examples. So try to understand. Who is used for persons when the word is the subject of its clause. Okay, remember that we are using who for the persons when they are using as a subject. Okay, I saw the man. Who is the subject of this whole clause? Man who was standing alone. Okay, here you can see that standing is a verb which is showing that it is a clause. The who is the relative pronoun which is showing the relation and telling us about the man who was standing alone. Next example is, we met the lady who was in the car. I am explaining it again, so listen to me very carefully. Who is again the relative pronoun who is showing the relation of the lady and tell us that She was in the car. You were interested in the person who applied for the job. Now you can see that who is used as a relative pronoun to show that the relation of the person, or to show us that he is the same person who is applied for the job. Now we come to our next relative pronoun. It is whom. Whom is used for the persons when the word is the object of its clause. Here again a clause has been given. It means a verb is present in the second part of the sentence, and whom is used to show the relation of the object. That is, the person is used as an object here. This is my father whom you have not seen before. Now here you can see the whom is a relative pronoun which is used for father, and we have given a reason also here in the form of a clause and the form of a sentence that you have not seen him before. Next example is, here is your teacher whom I have not met yet. It means whom is used to show that teacher, to show about the teacher that I have not met her yet. Okay, it is showing the relation. This is my uncle whom they had met yesterday. Again, here you can see that whom is used for the uncle, and it is showing the relation that they had met him yesterday. Okay. Now we come to our next relative pronoun, whose. Whose is used for persons normally, but may be used for animals or things. Okay, this is a repetition of all these pronouns so that you will understand, or if you have missed anything, you will get my point again. Okay, now I'm explaining it again so that if there is any problem, it will be solved. Now, whose is used for persons, but sometimes may be used for animals or things. Okay, it means it can be used for persons, but sometimes only used for animals or things. Here are some examples. We met the man whose car was stolen. Here you can see that whose is used for the man whose car was stolen. And in the second example, this is the cat whose kittens were lost. It is used, whose is used to represent cat, and it is an animal whose kittens were lost. Next is, you saw the woman whose necklace is here. It means whose is used for the woman whose necklace is here. Now we come to our next slide, which are relative pronoun, and which is used for anything except the persons. It means which is used for animals or things, but not for the persons. Remember this thing. Some of the students are very much late. Kindly be there on time. The examples are, I found the book which had the answers. Here you can see that which is a relative pronoun. It is used for the book, that is the thing. It means you should remember that which is not used for any persons. We read the letter which was in the drawer. Okay, which is used for a thing here again, about letter, and it was in the drawer. Next example is, you took the color which was on the table. Here, which is used for the color, and it is present on the table. Now you can see the difference between all the relative pronouns. I have given many examples so that you can easily understand. Okay. And we have done now personal pronouns and relative pronouns. These are two kinds of pronouns in the part 1 of the lecture. And in the next part of the lecture, we will discuss the other two. That means the reflexive pronouns and the interrogative pronouns. And one more thing, keep it in mind that I will give you the chance at the end, 10 minutes at least, to ask the questions or to solve your problems. If you have got any problem, ask me, write it in the chat so that I will give you the answers. Okay? And if you want to ask anything. And please, I want to remind you again that many of you are very much late again. So please be attentive and be cooperative. You should be there at least 15 minutes before the start of the lecture so that you will not miss any point and we will mark your attendance properly. You should know that we will give you grades for your attendance as well as for your home assignments. So please be attentive at every moment of the lecture and don't disturb the class by chatting with each other. Okay? And I will give you time at the end, and please be there on time. If you have to ask anything, write in the chat and come with your real names. Some of you are still coming with the other names, so please be careful. Otherwise, I will not mark your attendance. And if you are late, I will not mark your attendance. Remember all these things, all these points. Again, go through the rules which have been uploaded before on the Google Classroom so that you will understand more. I will meet you after 5 minutes. So stay here, please, and join me as soon as possible. Okay, Allah.